The aliens never expected a human guardian, HFY. Humans are legends. In the vast reaches of the Orion Arm, there was a planet called Zytheros, a jewel of biodiversity and beauty, untouched by war, but coveted by many. It was home to the Zynthar, an ancient alien species of fragile, insectoid beings who thrived in harmony with their environment. Despite their intelligence and cultural achievements, the Zynthar were a peaceful race with little aptitude for conflict, and this inevitably made them a target. The Kreth, a marauding race of interstellar raiders, had set their sights on Zytheros. The Kreth's arrival was heralded by shadowy fleets blotting out the stars and ominous broadcasts demanding unconditional surrender. The Zynthar, terrified, sent a desperate plea for help through the galactic network. They had no military, no means to defend themselves, and no allies brave enough to stand against the Kreth. Except for one. When the Zinthar's plea reached the far corners of the galaxy, it was dismissed by most. A single human vessel, however, responded. Captain Elias Vance, a former soldier turned independent operative, had stumbled upon the Zinthar's message. Most would have called him reckless, others foolish, but Elias had another word for it: duty. The Zynthar were astonished when a single human ship entered their orbit. The human, clad in rugged armor and armed to the teeth, stood in stark contrast to their delicate forms. The Zynthar delegation met Elias with cautious reverence, uncertain of what one human could do against an armada. Elias simply smiled. You don't need an army. You need a guardian. The Kreth invasion began with a thunderous assault. Their warships descended like predators, firing indiscriminately upon Zytheros' lush forests and crystalline cities. But as their ground forces deployed, they met something unexpected. Elias had turned the serene planet into a battlefield of ingenious traps and guerrilla tactics. Using his advanced combat suit, resourcefulness, and intimate knowledge of warfare, he became a ghost among the trees, striking fear into the hearts of the Kreth. They expected to face a defenseless population. Instead, they found themselves hunted by a single, relentless human. Explosions tore through Kreth supply lines, their mechs dismantled by sabotage, their soldiers struck down one by one. Elias didn't fight for glory or conquest. He fought for the Zynthar, beings who had nothing to give but their gratitude. The Zynthar watched in awe as Elias' actions turned the tide. They had never known violence, but through Elias, they learned the meaning of sacrifice and courage. The human's ability to endure, to face overwhelming odds without hesitation, was unlike anything they had seen. "Why do you fight for us?" one Zynthar elder asked him one night as they hid in a camouflaged shelter. Elias cleaned his plasma rifle, his face illuminated by the faint glow of the weapon's power core. "Because someone has to, and because humans don't abandon those in need. It's what we do." The Kreth, frustrated and humiliated, escalated their efforts. They sent elite squads to hunt Elias, deployed massive war machines to root him out, and rained destruction on the planet's surface. But Elias adapted. With each move the Kreth made, Elias countered with devastating precision. And the Zynthar, inspired by their guardian, began to help in small ways, laying traps, providing intel, and even rescuing Elias when a skirmish left him wounded. The final battle came when the Kreth's flagship descended, a colossal dreadnought capable of leveling Zytheros entirely. Elias knew this was his last stand. With the Zinthar's help, he infiltrated the flagship, using every ounce of his training and ingenuity to plant explosives at its core. The mission was nearly suicidal, but Elias had no hesitation. As he made his way to the escape pod, injured and exhausted, a Zynthar delegation appeared on his comms. "We owe you more than we can repay, Guardian," the elder said, her voice trembling with emotion. Elias smirked despite the pain. Just keep living. That'll be thanks enough. He launched from the flagship moments before it exploded in a fiery cascade, the Kreth's defeat ensuring Zytheros' survival. The Zynthar celebrated Elias as a hero, a living legend. But he waved off their attempts to immortalize him. "I'm just a guy doing what needs to be done," he said. When the galactic community heard of the lone human who stood against an entire armada, it sent shockwaves through the cosmos. Humans had always been underestimated, short-lived, brash, and reckless. But Elias Vance proved what humanity was truly capable of, defying the odds, protecting the weak, and leaving an indelible mark on the galaxy. The Zynthar would never forget their guardian, and neither would the Kreth, who now spoke in hushed tones about the human who had turned their might to ash. Humanity had once again earned its reputation among the stars. As legends,